We're going to be learning about Unburdened today. It's the 4-week women's ketamine-assisted psychotherapy program that's focused around forgiveness, release, and emotional renewal. So we're so glad to have you guys here, and we're looking forward to sharing more about the program with you. So I'm Elizabeth Arias, and I will be co-facilitating this journey alongside the clinical team. I'm a mindfulness teacher, Reiki practitioner, and an intuitive mentor. And my work focuses on helping women move from survival mode back into self-trust, clarity, and joy.
Hi, and my name is Alessandra Licul. I'm a licensed mental health counselor out of Acheron Psychiatry. I specialize in psychedelic integration, ketamine therapy, and just working with emerging adults on whatever their clinical, anxiety, depression, whatever mental health symptoms they might be going through.
Great. So in this program, we're going to be exploring this question. What are you still carrying? Many of us can carry the weight of resentment. It can show up in our bodies as tight chest, heavy shoulders, maybe tension in our head, tension in our throat. It's a very like weighed down spirit. It's a like an invisible weight, but it's very heavy and noticeable for us. And it also keeps our nervous system in a loop, in a constant loop with repetitive patterns showing up. And it's hard to tell sometimes, like where is this coming from? And so through this journey, we'll be exploring this and leading you possibly into release and renewal. So if you're here and you've possibly tried to move past this, possibly you've tried other tools, maybe you're in a mental loop that's keeping you draining and it's leaking all of your energy, like you feel like you've slept, you got a full night's rest and you're still waking up depleted, this program is for you. Or maybe you're noticing that you have old stories on repeat, right? So we're going to be identifying and working through those stories to help you, offer you the possibility of releasing that, both in your mind and in your body. So this is for women that are navigating perhaps relationship walls. You keep noticing some sort of wall that you keep hitting every time you get into partnership with somebody, and general stress. Those that are in need of a nervous system reset. Perhaps you're noticing, you get triggered easily, or, you know, there's loops that you're cycling through. So through this program, will be embodying safety in this healing container. And so you will be able to find a way for your nervous system to get regulated again. And perhaps you're just ready for a change, but you don't know where to start. A lot of times, our healing journey, we tend to pick up a lot of different tools and modalities, and it feels pretty unstructured. But through this 4-week container, we've set up a really structured framework for you to follow through to really explore what lasting change could look like for you. So, how would it feel if you could finally let go? Let go of the emotion, let go of the guilt, let go of the resentment. So, in this 4-week women's program, it is ketamine assisted psychotherapy. It will involve energy healing in each ketamine session, as well as guiding you and your body through meditation. There will be breath work to help you get into a rest and relaxation mode, as well as some gentle movement to really embody what we're practicing. And the best part of all is that you're not doing it alone. You're doing it in a safe container with other women that have similar maybe struggles or challenges as you. And that can be very supportive and healing in a community environment. So what the 4-week entails, we kick it off with a mini retreat. It's a 4-hour retreat in New York City. So that will be a mix of ketamine and restorative practices. Then each week we will have a small mini ketamine session that will also include workshops along with ketamine and a little bit of reflection and restorative time. Then the following day, there's a virtual integration session for each week. If you've never received energy healing before, it's just a very therapeutic hands-on or hands-off approach. It's up to the participant that allows your nervous system to just feel really held and calm and relaxed. And it also includes at the very end on the last day a closing circle just to unite and come together and reflect on our journeys and how far we've come. Okay. So, moving into week one, it's going to be about unpacking the weight. We begin this week by grounding into safety and intention. We'll get to know each other better. We'll share a few stories. And so, just so you can really feel safe with the group dynamic, we'll be creating space for your nervous system to exhale. You'll explore where resentment and emotional weight have been living in your body, and we'll begin to gently start loosening that hold. So this week sets the foundation for trust, connection, and it's the first experience of lightness that many people haven't felt in years. And then moving into week two, we'll be exploring the stories, the ruptures, and what protective parts have been showing up and keeping us in this loop. We'll continue grounding into safety and intention. We'll create the space for your nervous system to really um, ground in. And we're going to be exploring really what resentment and the emotional weight, where it has been living in your body, and really allow it to loosen its grip a bit. And hopefully
Sorry.
in this, you're okay. In this week, it'll really set the foundation for trust and connection. So you can begin to experience more or continue the experience of lightness. And then into week three, it's change makers. So here we'll be planting the seeds for new patterns, and also exploring what forgiveness could look like, and not as pressure, but as a possibility. We'll learn how releasing even a small layer of resentment can create profound spaciousness inside. It's about softening the grip of the past and discovering how much energy and joy can return when you stop fighting your own healing. We'll explore what forgiveness can feel like, forgiving ourselves, and if we're ready to forgive other people as well. And then week four, release and reclaim, my favorite week. So in this closing week, we'll be honoring everything that's been released, everything that's been transmuted. It's really about anchoring everything that we've uncovered. You'll translate insight into embodied wisdom, integrating new perspectives, rituals, and ways of being. This is the final journey and closing circle that brings a sense of wholeness, gratitude, and readiness to move forward unburdened.
Okay, so for those of us who are not as familiar with ketamine therapy, I can speak to that a bit. On the neurological level, ketamine has a really profound effect on our brain health. So maybe you've heard the term neuroplasticity thrown around with psychedelics or psychedelic therapy. What that means is that after you take ketamine, your brain goes through a neuroplastic window. This is when new synapses are forming in the brain. Synapses are when we learn something new or we have a new idea. We go through a big neuroplastic window in youth and childhood, which is why maybe you felt like when you were 5 or 6, it was really easy to learn a new language. And now something like that would be much, much more difficult. That's because we have less neuroplasticity as we age. However, taking ketamine allows us to open the neuroplastic window. Why this is helpful for mental health is that, as Elizabeth mentioned, we often have old stories, old protector mechanisms that are now have outlived their usefulness and perhaps are holding us back. So the neuroplastic window, creating new synapses in the brain, allows us to embody new perspectives and allow us to more easily develop healthier routines, healthy habits, and the neuroplastic window can be really supportive in any kind of deep, meaningful, positive change you'd like to make. And this pairs really well with our curriculum of emotional release because we're clearing the space for those new healthy thoughts and patterns to emerge. An insight is just the beginning. So Elizabeth mentioned we have integration sessions. Essentially, and those of you who are already on a healing journey may have experienced this when you are in therapy or in ceremony and you have an insight about something that you realized about yourself or your behavior or something that you want to change, or you had a moment of knowledge and maybe it just goes away, or we don't know what to do with that insight. Or maybe it doesn't occur to us until much, much later how we're going to act on it. When we have an integration session, that's basically group therapy where everyone shares their insight and we make meaning together and figure out what we want to do next with that insight. So, really transmuting it into actionable, tangible change and next steps. So, what makes this program unique? I mean, a lot of things, but first and foremost, it's for women by women. Elizabeth and I have put this together with a combination of clinical research, supported energetic and holistic practices, our own life experience, our own work with other people. So, it's really a very evidence-based program. Fall is great timing for something like this because it's the season of release in nature and in the world, and we mimic that in our own bodies and minds. So the timing of it is really in sync with the planet. And healing happens in relationship. There's a lot of evidence on trauma recovery in therapy, and much evidence points to the fact that group therapy is the best way to create healing in those scenarios. And not even with intense trauma, even just if you are experiencing any sort of mental health symptomology, a lot of research suggests that group is a much stronger way for you to heal from this. And the reason that is, what I always tell my patients is our biggest traumas, our biggest hurts, our biggest struggles have often happened in relationship to other people. So it would make sense that healing and healing from those wounds needs to also happen within the context of relationship and community. The other benefit here is that we're going to be in community. So that's a built-in accountability structure. It's going to help you carve out the time to really commit to yourself, to not let the busyness and stress of life get in the way of your own growth and your own transformation. And we're going to have tools in community to support that accountability. And it's accountability without shame, more just accountability through support and encouragement. I wanted to give us a real quick schedule overview here. Feel free to screenshot this page. We have this information on our flyer as well, but just to walk you through it, on October 22nd, 6:30 to 8 p.m., we'll be doing a virtual prep session. This is another opportunity to ask questions, to get to know your group members, to talk about your intention for the program, all things that we would need to get out of the way before we get started. We want everyone to feel really safe. We want everyone to feel really confident and prepared for the steps they're about to take. Then on October 26th, in person, 12 to 4, we'll be doing our mini retreat at the Acheron site in Lower Manhattan. This is going to be a group ketamine journey and several other, like Elizabeth mentioned, energetic and somatic workshops to support our healing and really kick things off. Then, for the following 3 weeks, in person, we will have ketamine dosing medicine sessions. So, we'll start with a quick prep and grounding. We'll all take the medicine together, and then we'll have a few moments at the end to kind of discuss and make sure everyone feels ready to leave the space. The following day, after integration sessions, after medicine sessions, we'll be holding a lunchtime integration. This is really, really important because it helps us make sense of what went on for us during the journey. It helps us connect and share with others and really solidifies any insights or emotions or experiences that you felt during the journey. And then we will have our closing integration circle on November 20th to honor and release and just celebrate everything that we were able to accomplish together.
And just to clarify, your facilitator stays sober. She meant we
Yes,
as in the
yes.
group.
Yes, good point. And that's another thing to mention too. We will have both facilitators watching over everything. We have a medical technician in the office, just to make sure everyone is safe and protected. And if anything were to come up, we have the resources to support that. Although I will say I've been doing this, I've done probably over 50 of these sessions and never have seen an adverse reaction in my experience. So quickly to touch on the pricing, we work with Aetna and Cigna Insurance. If you're in network with us, this entire 4-week program will only cost $144 total for the retreat, the medicine, the integration, everything. And if you're out of network, the full program will be $1,500. An additional thing to mention is that we do work with out-of-network benefits. So if your insurance includes any out-of-network coverage, we will also work with you to help get reimbursement there. And as I mentioned at the top, we're having an early registration bonus for those of you who are with us today. Till midnight tomorrow, we're offering 100% off. I keep saying that, $100 off the program fee and one private 30-minute integration call with one of us to support and set intentions and receive personalized guidance on your journey. So again, this is available to folks who want to sign up before midnight tomorrow. This again, the model is hybrid, will be virtual and in person. Virtual will be held over Zoom just to accommodate for people's busy schedules. And when we're in person, we'll be at the Acheron offices, 11 Broadway, and we'll send this information to you as well. So, are you ready to unburden? We're keeping it a small, bespoke group experience. We want to keep it really tight. So, there'll be 10 spots available. You all are the first to be hearing about it. So, we hope that you are able to register now and make the most of our offer. You can take a screenshot here or a picture on your phone of the QR code, and that will lead you to our registration link.